Being young in Canada today is like trying to run a marathon, but the track is uphill, it's covered in ice, and somebody stole your shoes. Groceries, $10 for strawberries. Rent, half your salary. Houses, forget it. Unless you win the lottery, or you have rich parents, you're not buying anything but good old instant noodles. So, amidst all this chaos, I recently found something that might be a solution. Bitcoin. Could Bitcoin be the only hope for young Canadians? Or is it just another cope for our financial misery? You might be asking, why is life in Canada so painfully expensive in the first place? First, housing is a straight up boss fight. The average Canadian home costs $700. I can't even say it's too large of a number. Let's do it again. 720,000 Canadian dollars. And in Toronto, that goes up to $1.1 million. Meanwhile, young Canadians are scraping by, making $46K a year about. You know what that's like? That's like trying to buy a Lambo with Canadian Tire money.
What the hell is even that?
At this point, if you worked 24/7, no food, no sleep, and definitely zero iced coffee from Tim's, after all those years of hard work, you would finally get the garage. Not even the house attached. Secondly, the government went full-on money printer go boo. During COVID, Canada spent more money than that one friend who says, I'm just gonna have one drink at the bar, bro. Syrup, bailouts, subsidies. The tab was infinite. Where did all that money come from anyways? The Bank of Canada, I tell you this, they made it up. Between the years of 2020 to 2022, the money supply ballooned by 30%. So there's more dollars, but there's the same amount of stuff. You know what that means? Higher prices. And that's why grocery is up 20% since 2020. That's why people rage quit when they go to Metro and see the chicken breasts are $40.
What?
I'm really not capping when I say the Canadian dollar, just like the US dollar, can be printed, inflated forever and ever. Third, let's talk about the taxes and wages. Wages haven't kept up with inflation for years. And did you know Canada has one of the highest tax burdens in the world?
What I was thinking of was, I can't believe you've done this.
By the time taxes, rent, bills eat up your paycheck, no wealth, no savings, you're only left with enough money for just half a Subway sandwich. And this is where Bitcoin struts in with that main character energy. Houses inflate, groceries inflate, but Bitcoin? Nah, Bitcoin's built different. It's the only thing in the economy that doesn't change its rules halfway throughout the game. No inflation patches, no Trudeau DLC where he prints 100 million coins just for the vibes. Bitcoin is hard capped at 21 million coins. I do believe it is the truest digital property that you can buy. A property that can hold and even grow its value over time. Because unlike fiat, no one can print, make, spawn, whatever, more Bitcoin. Let me tell you, the adoption is real. Around the world, over 100 million people are using Bitcoin, and that number is just increasing year by year. ETFs in Canada and the US already manage Bitcoin in their portfolios. Even the big boy institutions are buying too. Here's the kicker, okay? Wealth traditionally has always come from owning assets. These are things like houses, lands, stock, but those doors are padlocked for our generation. Real estate? Gone. Wages? Trash. Savings and cash? It's like trying to pour water into a leaky bucket. And if you look at Bitcoin, it really is built different. Since 2013, it's gone up 1,500%. And unlike everything else, it is accessible to everyone. You don't need six figures, you don't need your bank's approval. You can buy $5, $10, $1 million worth of Bitcoin right now. Some people might compare Bitcoin to stocks, but even stocks put walls up with minimums and brokers. And this is why I think Bitcoin literally is the people's asset. If you got internet, you're in. So now don't get it twisted, okay? Bitcoin is risky AF because it's volatile AF. Did you know between 2021 and 2022, it nuked from 69K to 16K, a 75% crash. And the regulation in Canada is kind of messy at the moment. Not to mention the good old CRA taxes crypto like property. So every trade you made is taxable. Not to mention as well the scams, which are pretty much everywhere these days. If someone DMs you saying they're gonna make you rich, they're gonna give you Bitcoin, they're gonna double your Bitcoin, whatever, block them faster than the ex who texts you up at 2 a.m. So it's not exactly a golden ticket, I want to make that really clear. You really should do your research beyond watching this video before you buy any. But compared to the clown show of housing, cash, wages, for a lot of young people, including myself, I see it as one of the only ways to truly build wealth in the long term. So let's say my rant convinced you to buy Bitcoin. How do you get into it? It's very simple. Get your phone, download a Canadian app like ShakePay, Newton, Wealthsimple, Netcoins. Sign up, verify, and deposit the cash into the account. For extra safety, you can move your Bitcoin to a cold hardware wallet like a Ledger or Trezor. Rule number 1 of crypto though is not your keys, not your coins. If it sits on exchange forever, it really truly isn't yours. What makes me really hopeful about Bitcoin is that it's truly open to everyone. It's borderless, it's scarce. It really is something the government can't inflate, something the government can't take away from you. It doesn't matter if you're 18 or 80, broke in Toronto, balling in Timbuktu. If you've got internet, you can join the financial revolution. So, is Bitcoin the only hope for young Canadians? Maybe, but let's be honest. Compared to the alternatives, which are $1 million houses, $40 chicken breasts, and paychecks that vanish instantly, it might be the best shot we've got. Drop a comment below. Are you stacking, or are you waiting for Cardi to come hand deliver you a Toronto condo key? Either way, welcome to finance in the 2020s. The vibes are bad, memes are fire, and the exit might just be digital.